Sup guys, it's Rifftic, and in this video, we're going to be covering whether or not you should pull Claudia in the upcoming banner for PvP. We're going to be going over her abilities and how they specifically will affect PvP, and talk a little bit about the changes that are going to be made to her according to the data mines. She's not going to come out the same way she did on CN in Global, so we're going to go over that and talk about how it's going to affect PvP. Let's get to it. So I do have the data mine post here from Twitter. Now, quick disclaimer, these things could change, and if they do, I will pin a comment down below as always. So check that out if you're interested. But starting off here, physical resonance. This was not released with Claudia on the CN version, but we are getting it in Global. This is not going to affect PvP basically at all unless you're running like a Shiro comp, which you're probably not very high rated if you are, but who knows? We'll have to test it out when she comes out. Starting off at the top here, her 1-star, each time you use a skill or discharge, you get a stacking damage buff of 8%, up to 3 stacks, so that's 24%. Pretty nice. Her 3-star, every time you hit a target with a skill or discharge again, it applies this 1 stack of war wounds, which increases incoming physical damage and shatter by 10%. And then this is increased to, you can only have 1 stack with a 3-star. This is increased to 2 stacks with the 6-star, which means 20% physical damage and 20% shatter, which is very, very big. Again, for those of you who don't know, everything in PvP is automatically 6-star. You don't have to have the 6-star in order to get all of these things in PvP. Her 5-star, hitting targets with skills or discharge skills grants a damage boost, which increases all damage by 20% for 25 seconds. Now, this, I was hearing some things from the CN players that it was only damage from skills. If it is all damage on release, that is very big. 20% all damage, that's going to be huge. But I will, again, that's another thing that I will update in the comments, because we don't know right now, as of right now. Lastly, her 6 stars, this I think is a translation issue because it says hitting the same target no longer reduces the damage dealt. I don't know what this means. Like, it doesn't really make sense that like hitting the target consecutively would lower your damage. Like, it doesn't make sense. I'm not sure what this means, but either way, again, it just makes it so that the 3-star, you can now get 2 stacks of war wounds instead of 1. So up to 20% from 10%. So that's nice. And yeah, that's about it for the stars. Next for the skills. So this is her skill list here, and don't worry, I'm not going to go over all of these. I'm not going to sit here for 20 minutes. I'm just going to go over the ones that matter for PvP. First things first though, all of these have received a damage buff from the CN version. So Claudia has just gotten a just across the board, just straight damage buff. All of these have been increased by different amounts, but still increased. So something to keep in mind. In terms of her normal attack and her aerial attack, nothing to really go over here in regards to PvP, but her hold attack knocks opponents up, so that's good to keep in mind. It's a very small range, it's just melee range, but still important. Her down attack and her sneak attack, also nothing to really go over here. Her dodge attack is very good, and that is because it knocks up opponents. It's very similar to Samir's dodge attack, where you dash to the target and then knock them up, suspending them. And you can go into aerial attacks from there or any sort of other combo. So that's a very good one to keep in mind. Next, her skill. Her skill, I would say, is very similar to Frigg's skill in the sense that it is a very large AoE. I'll show it to you guys. Very large AoE damage skill that knocks up opponents. A big difference is it does not have the domain effect, obviously, but also when you use the skill, you will actually dash to the opponent. So it's a very good gap closer. Frigg's skill does not do this. Instead, you have to rely on her tab spam and then left click, which will allow you to dodge to opponents. But hers is built in, which is nice. Another difference is that she only has 50% reduced damage taken while using this skill, as opposed to Frigg's 100%. Frigg's is an iframe, invincibility frame, so she takes no damage. But Claudia takes 50%, which is still good. I'll take it. That is still very, very good. And she's also immune to crowd control effects while using this, so you can use it to get out of things if you time it correctly. Finally, we have her discharge. Basically, you will dash again to the target and knock them up again. So as you can see, a lot of dashes, a lot of knockups with Claudia, a lot of CC. It's very, very good. And then you will leave behind a sort of spinning vortex, the blade storm, which basically just does damage. And finally, you gain immunity to grievous, burn, and freeze and electrify effects for 5 seconds. These are all of the overcharge effects, this effect right here. So that's pretty interesting. It's kind of difficult to time because you have to like predict and sort of like monitor when they're gonna get overcharged, which is very difficult to do, but it could save you in a pinch. So that is pretty nice. And yeah, that's about it for the skills. Now for the question, should you summon should you summon Claudia for PvP in Tower of Fantasy? And the answer is yes, definitely. She is going to be busted when she comes out. She was busted on CN, and she is going to be even more busted on Global because of the buffs she received. Even if she releases without the buffs, she's still going to be very, very good. Her synergy with Frigg is something that I'm really looking forward to, specifically the Shatter synergy. Basically, you get the 20% Shatter from Claudia's 3 and 6 star, and then if you're inside the domain of Frost with a Frost weapon, you get 25% Shatter from Frigg. That adds up to 45% Shatter. Their shield is going to get deleted, so very excited to test that out. Maybe a Frigg, Meryl, and Claudia comp is going to be very, very aggressive and very fun to play. So yeah, stay tuned. I will have a full-on dedicated Claudia guide once she releases. But yeah, that's about it I wanted to go over for this video. One more thing though, I wanted to apologize to you guys for the less frequent uploads. My college classes are getting significantly harder, and since I pretty much just do this for fun, you know, school takes priority, unfortunately. Hopefully, like, you know, whenever I have like breaks or if my workload gets lower, I will be able to do daily uploads again. But for now, I'm trying to commit to a every other day upload schedule. So bear with me for that. But yeah, that's about it for this video. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.